Hi, I'm James Trent Davis with Legacy Property Advisors. And what I want to walk through today is something that most families don't realize that they need to prepare for. 7 out of 10 seniors need long-term care at some point, and the family home is often what they have to turn to pay for care. So today I want to walk you through what that actually looks like. Now remember that as your care needs change, the living situations for your parents or loved ones will change with them. And at each stage, the family home is going to play a different role. Now, one thing I want you to hear before we go any further is that no matter what stage your family's in, right now, you have to make sure that you have an estate attorney, a CPA, a financial advisor, a real estate broker, and a lender involved before any decisions get made about the home. These 5 people are your safety net. They're here to protect you from making a bad decision and rely on them. Now, let's walk through this document that we've created for you together. We created this document, which we call the Long-Term Care and Housing Decision Roadmap. And what it does is answer the questions that families ask us more than anything, which is, what's going to happen next to my parent? How's it going to affect their care? And how am I supposed to use the home to pay for it? So we created this document that walks you through that whole process. And so you can understand what's coming next and answer those questions for your family before you make a decision, and you can plan for what happens next. But before we go any further, it's imperative that you have these 5 professionals that you can trust involved: your estate attorney, your CPA, your financial advisor, a real estate broker, and a lender/mortgage broker. These are your safety net, these 5 people, and they are going to help you make the best decision possible for your estate and for your parent. So, that being said, let's get started. Stage 1 is fully independence. Your parent or your loved one is doing fine. There are no real limitations. The housing options are wide open. You can stay in the family home, you can downsize to a condo, they can move into a 55-plus community, or relocate closer to family. All the options are there, and the equity is untouched. So, this is the best planning window that you're ever going to have. Okay? So most people skip it. Don't. Stage 2 is now your parent is slowing down, but not mentally. They're sharp and they're fully in the conversation. They are part of and able to make all of their own decisions. At this stage, the options still include staying at home. You can stay at home and make modifications to make it safer. You can bring in part-time help to help you with those things that they're no longer able to do by themselves. They can move in with family. A lot of people have built an ADU or an additional bedroom. And you could also move into an independent living community where all of those housing things, dinners, laundry, and all that's provided for them, and they have a lot of social time. So there's still time to plan well. Nothing has been forced yet. I'm going to go back again to the professional advisors. If you don't already have an estate attorney that you can trust, a CPA, a financial advisor, a real estate broker, and a lender in place that have an understanding of what's happening to people as they age and how to use the home, find them and do it now. Not at stage 3, now. This is where the house becomes central in stage 3. This is where your parent can no longer safely live at home. The options include now a live-in caregiver in the family home, moving your parent, loved one to assisted living now where there's much more intensive care, medical care, and if cognitive decline is present, it could be memory care, or an adult family home, which is a smaller in a residential setting that is a lot more intimate and community-based than other places that are really big. For most families, the home is their largest asset, and it's sometimes the only thing for a lot of families, for our family, that can cover the actual cost of the care that you're facing. So renting, selling, tapping home equity, all of those become real conversations at stage 3. If the family is not aligned on what to do, then I highly advise that a mediator or professional counselor can come in and help the family all get on the same page of what to do next. As the care needs grow, however, so do the costs. So now the physical and mental conditions have continued to advance, and now costs are up to $8,000 to $15,000 a month in our area. The options get much more serious. Your options include skilled nursing, advanced memory care, in-home skilled nursing when Medicare and Medi-Cal is possibly available, or PACE, which is a place that not a lot of people qualify for or know about, but it's an inclusive Medicare, Medi-Cal funded campus where everything is included. So for most families at this stage, you started to wind down your savings, your investments of your parents, and selling the home, pursuing a loan is often a necessity at this stage. It's no longer a choice. And so something also really important to remember is that the parents or the loved one may no longer be able to authorize any of those decisions. So the person holding power of attorney is often the one signing now. And this can bring about a lot of conflict. So plan ahead for that. It's going to happen. It happens to a lot of family. But eventually our focus shifts from managing care to trying to find comfort and dignity for our loved ones. Stage 5, sadly, is something that we're all going to go through. And most families at this stage are looking at hospice at home or residential palliative care, hospice care in a professional setting. The house is now transferred from a funding source to an estate matter, where you're trying to figure out how it's going to get transitioned to the heirs. At this stage, it's important to have these additional people for all of the family, not just for your parent or loved one. A hospice team, a grief counselor, a spiritual advisor or faith leader that's meaningful to your family, for support for all of the kids and siblings and grandchildren and everything. The house now has become a source of conflict for a lot of the families. Not everyone has the same ideas of what happens to it after the person has passed. So it's more important than ever to have a plan ahead that you can work with your attorney to make sure that everyone is on the same page before the person passes. This way, you can focus on what matters the most is the comfort of your loved one and of the family around them. There's one more important thing that I wish that someone would have told me when my mom was first diagnosed with Alzheimer's. It is that I wish I would have said, do you move through the stages in order? And the answer simply was, no. Your parent, your loved one, you can skip from stage 1 to stage 3 to stage 5 if the cognitive or physical decline is fast or it changes. And now, with advanced medical care and the right interventions, we also find parents and loved ones moving backwards, stabilizing in ways sometimes that nobody ever expected. But what this means for you as a family, for the caregivers at this stage, or thinking about the plan all the way through, is that the plan has to be flexible, but most importantly, it has to exist in the first place. That is why having a plan for each stage matters. So your family never has to start from scratch, no matter where things go. One more thing before we close. We stay independent, so you always get honest advice. What we do is we gather everything together, all of that information, we coordinate the process, and get it all in one single place so that you and your family can meet with your professional advisors and decide what is the best decision for the home and planning for the future care of your parent. So we're not replacing your attorneys, financial advisors, or real estate professionals, but by making sure everyone is working together and decisions are made before urgency takes your choices away. We are here for you, and you are not alone. So no matter what stage you are in the family, if you're planning for the future and you need some help, we're here for you. So thank you very much.